This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester. Transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James. Serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tana Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Tuesday, October 15, 2024. 19% reduction in murders since the start of the year. Court administration blames procurement system for poor maintenance of court infrastructure. West Portland MP Darrell Vaz signals intention to step away from representational politics following the next general election. In regional news, Trinidad's PNM members tell Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to come clean on party's leadership plans. In international news, Florida returning to near normal after Hurricane Milton. In sports, Jamaica played out a goalless draw with Honduras at the National Stadium on Monday night. The details after the break.
Need to send items locally? Now there's a better way. Zipmail, a safe, reliable, and affordable courier service island-wide. Delays are a thing of the past. Save time. Zipmail will send it in a flash. We offer door-to-door pickup and delivery by the next business day. You can track the progress of your item every step of the way. Choose Zipmail and let us deliver your next package or item now. Just zip it and forget it. A product of Jamaica Post.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Jamaicans are being urged to brace for unstable weather conditions between Tuesday and Friday. That's according to the Meteorological Service of Jamaica. In a release on Monday, the Met says this is due to unstable weather associated with a tropical wave currently across Hispaniola. The tropical wave is expected to merge with a developing area of low pressure southwest of Jamaica by Tuesday night. It says the disturbed weather will bring with it cloudy conditions conditions with periods of showers and thunderstorms to affect sections of most parishes, especially southern parishes. Strong gusty winds are also expected, especially across southern parishes and southern marine areas. The Met Service is advising fishers and other marine interests, especially those inshore and offshore the south coast, to exercise extreme caution. This as sea conditions are expected to deteriorate in these conditions. The Met Service says it will continue to monitor the system. Now, the country has recorded a 19% reduction in murders since the start of the year. That's according to the latest crime statistics from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. According to the JCF, 897 people have been murdered between January 1 and October 12. Norgay Banton reports.
According to the JCF's last crime report on October 5, there were 879 recorded murders across the island. 7 days later, 18 more murders were reported. But despite the latest reports, the JCF says homicides continue to trend down. In its October 12 crime report, the JCF says the country recorded 213 fewer murders than the corresponding period last year. However, St. James continues to record the most murders in any police division, with 109 homicides. That figure is still lower when compared to the corresponding period last year, with 155 people killed. St. James is followed by St. Andrew South with 80 murders. The Westmoreland Police Division had 79 homicides. Manchester, Trelawney, St. Elizabeth, St. Andrew Central and St. Andrew North all recorded increases. Portland continues to record the least number of murders with 8. Meanwhile, shootings have declined by 6%, coming in at 818 as at October 12. Other major crimes such as robberies, rapes, and break-ins also continue to decline. Norgay Banton for Nationwide News.
The Director and CEO of the Court Administration Division, CAD, Tricia Cameron Anglin, says maintaining the court infrastructure across the country is hampered by limited resources and lengthy procurement processes. Court officers have complained about the poor state of the country's courts, including inadequate or lack of bathroom facilities and non-functioning air conditioning units. Mrs. Cameron Anglin says some of the actions required to address the complaints may look simple, but are delayed by the aforementioned issues. She was speaking to journalists at the end of a CAD press conference at Jewel Paradise Resort in St. Anne on Monday.
We have one carpenter, one plumber, and one electrician to service the entire judiciary for the 60 complexes. So, and this is known, it's not a surprise. So it could never be a maintenance issue. What we have to do is outsource a lot of the work within the areas to assist us. And when we outsource, we are outsourcing to approved government suppliers, which again comes with its own delays.
Cameron Anglin cited the procurement process for supplies needed for refurbishing exercises as another hurdle for the judiciary.
We also have to take them into the procurement process, which nobody wants to hear about, which is also another intensive process which requires further delays. So when you get into a structure and you see a bathroom that needs to be, let's say a place that needs to be repainted, come on, people will say, you must can buy 2 tin of paint and paint up that place. That shouldn't be that difficult to do. And it is easy to do, but hard to get through the process to just get the 2 tins of paints inside there.
Tricia Cameron Anglin, Director and CEO of the Court Administration Division. Member of Parliament for West Portland, Darrell Vaz, says his wife Anne-Marie will continue to serve as the Member of Parliament for East Portland following the impending general election. The People's National Party PNP recently named Attorney-at-Law Isaac Buchanan as the party's standard-bearer for the constituency. However, Mr. Vaz is confident that regardless of the PNP's choice, his wife will again secure victory.
My wife is more popular than I am in the parish of Portland, and she only came there in 2019. But if you know her disposition, and if you know her passion, and if you know her love for people and for her country, you will understand why it is that she has been as successful as she has. If Anne-Marie Vaz, a neophyte, could have beaten Damian Crawford with his political popularity within the PNP and outside of the PNP, a new name, no-name candidate cannot beat her. She has endeared herself to the people. She has me behind her to make sure to do all of the political strategy and to make sure and help her to get her votes into the ballot box.
Anne-Marie Vaz previously won the seat in a 2019 by-election, defeating the PNP's Damon Crawford by over 300 votes. Her win broke the PNP's 30-year hold on the East Portland constituency. While extending well wishes to Buchanan, Mr. Vaz adds that he doubts the people of Portland will support him, citing his controversial past.
I don't speak ill of people. I don't know the gentleman. I've only read about him and read about his past. And the bottom line is that sort of situation is not one that Portlanders will welcome. You know where we are and what we are and Portland and the type of people. But guess what? Wish him luck. Look forward to a clean campaign, crime-free campaign, and let the best person win. But I can tell you one thing. He's not running against Anne-Marie. He's running against Anne-Marie and Darrell.
Darrell Vaz, West Portland Member of Parliament. He was speaking during Nationwide at 5 on Monday. Meanwhile, Mr. Vaz has announced that the next general election, constitutionally due in 2025, will be his final one.
I've made it clear that, that my political life is winding down and I'll be running the next election. And that is it. I'm 60 years old. I've been it from 23 years old, on and off. This is my last election. And I can tell you something. I'm so committed to this administration under the leadership of Andrew Hornish that if it was not for him, I probably would not have run another election. And therefore, I want to make sure that when I leave, that Jamaica is on the right track and continues to be on the right track. And I do believe that the Andrew Hornish-led administration has been an exemplary government.
Darrell Vaz, Western Portland Member of Parliament. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says poultry producers have promised to ramp up chicken production within the next 2 weeks. Rapid assessments have shown that the sector has been negatively impacted by the downturn of chicken production from small poultry farmers. Recently, it was reported that there was a 10% decline in the overall production of chicken meat across the island. A meeting was held on Friday with members of the ministry and stakeholders to assess the scale of chicken production across the country and to discuss measures to boost supply. Minister Green says producers are expecting chicks distributed to be fully developed in another 2 weeks.
We did see from the rapid assessment that the sector is being negatively impacted from the downturn in production of the small poultry farmers. Plus, we also saw that there has been an increase in demand for chicken meat, especially for whole chicken and for chicken parts. As such, we would have gone through various interventions. Poultry providers, main poultry producers indicated that they were ramping up production and they expect that over the next 2 weeks they will be able to satisfy the demand. And based on the distribution from RADA, which would have started the first week of August and would have run through the majority of August, they also expect that in another 2 weeks a lot of the chicks that were distributed would be coming to term and as such would make their way to market.
He says that the ministry will be following up with the poultry farmers this week to check on the progress of production.
One of the things that we decided to do coming out of that meeting, because the poultry producers would have provided us with some figures in relation to their inventory and in relation to their production numbers. So the ministry team this week, Monday and Tuesday, will be visited with our two major poultry players, checking their inventory just to ensure that it is in keeping with the information that has been provided and checking the progress regarding the commitments to ramp up production. We will do that for this week, and then we will be in a better state to say whether those commitments that have been made in the meeting are being adhered to. So we do expect that over the next 2 weeks, our consumers will be much more able to get all the chicken that they need.
Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his administration intends to position Portmore as the Silicon Valley of the Caribbean as he attempts to make Jamaica the hub of technological development for the region. The Prime Minister says this is what informs his decision to make Portmore the country's 15th parish.
Jamaica is now looking to develop itself as the technological hub of the Caribbean, and Portmore will become the Silicon Valley of Jamaica. That is our intention. We are going to make Portmore a parish, and we are going to make Portmore the city parish, and we are going to make Portmore the technological capital of the Caribbean, because you have here the human resources, and as I say, I see a lot of young people. You have the young people who have the basic requirement to be given that kind of what they call IT training.
Silicon Valley is a region in Northern California that is highly considered the leading global center for high technology and innovation. Mr. Holness says, unlike previous administrations which have made grandiose promises regarding Portmore, his government has delivered. The Prime Minister says the area is primed for purposeful and high-tech development.
And also have here a very good representation of the global services industries. You call it BPO, but we move away from that long time. What we are going to create here now is called knowledge services. The people who write the programs, the people who check and correct the programs, the people who do the accounting, the people who do the auditing, the people who do the legal and paralegal, the people who do read the medical records and the medical charts. All of that is a new industry that we are going to create.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, he was speaking at the Area 2 Council Constituency Conference on Sunday at the Portmore Heart Academy. Member of the JLP's Communication Task Force, Marlon Morgan, is reiterating the call for the PNP's Donovan Mitchell to resign as Mayor of Mandeville and aspirant for the Manchester Central constituency.
Donovan Mitchell is a senior member of the PNP and should be fully aware of the standards to which public officials are held. In circumstances where lives are being lost as a result of lottery scamming related violence in the very municipality and parish over which he has superintendence as mayor, I think it is absolutely disturbing and insulting that he would expect the public to accept that he was merely speaking sarcastically. Unexplained wealth and lottery scamming are too serious a scourge in our society for any idle jesting or so-called sarcastic comments.
The call for Mayor Mitchell to resign stemmed from last Thursday's sitting of the Manchester Municipal Corporation. At the meeting, Councillor for the Craighead Division, Omar Miller, sought to explain that some entertainment events in the parish are being funded by lottery scammers. But Mayor Mitchell told Councillor Miller to sit down and there's nothing wrong with unexplained wealth. Since his remark, there have been several calls for Mitchell to step down. But on Sunday, the Mandeville mayor said at no point did he offer support for scamming, nor did he intend to convey such a message. Mitchell said his response was a sarcastic jab aimed at the JLP's current behavior. However, Mr. Morgan is doubling down on his call for the mayor to demit office.
At no point whatsoever in his 7 paragraphs long press release did he express regret or acknowledge that his comments had the effect of signaling support for lottery scamming and other illicit means of wealth accumulation. In doubling down, Mayor Mitchell has essentially insulted the intelligence of well-thinking Jamaicans and has further offended our sensibilities. The people of Manchester, and I dare say Jamaica, deserve much better public accountability and leadership than that being offered by Donovan Mitchell. And as such, he should resign forthwith. He has to go.
Marlon Morgan, member of the JLP's Communication Task Force. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
Best dressed chicken, Vienna sausages. 100% chicken, straight Jamaican, I eat.
The time by Best Dressed Chicken Vienna Sausages is
6:17.
Horton's RX, the caring pharmacy, the Yes We Can pharmacy, the Yes It's in stock pharmacy, the house call delivery pharmacy, the RX Pack mobile app pharmacy, the RX Plus digital wallet pharmacy, the 20% reward pharmacy, the easy to remember number pharmacy, 876 RX0 RXRX, the easy access 24/7 pharmacy, Horton's RX, the convenient pharmacy. #wellness, #simply delivered.
Looking to add a touch of elegance to your room? The Lighting World by Fosrich is having a massive lighting blowout sale. Get your wall lamps, chandeliers, ceiling lamps, fans, and more at amazingly low prices. Sale begins Sunday, September 29, with up to 50% off selected items. It's the Fosrich Lighting Blowout Sale, September 29. Shop and save only at Fosrich. Open Sundays.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, a former member of Trinidad's People's National Movement, PNM, has challenged the party president, Dr. Keith Rowley, to speak definitively about the leadership plans for the party. Dr. Rowley is also Trinidad's prime minister. According to Trinidad media, talk about Rowley's departure from the PNM surfaced last Thursday after he hinted at stepping down on the final day of budget debate contributions in Parliament. Rowley said he did not know how much longer he had in Parliament. He said he was looking forward to his family at the end of the rainbow. But the former party member is giving him 1 month to come clean on the future leadership of the party. He wants the Prime Minister to tell the public why the party's internal election scheduled for November was suddenly cancelled and be clear about whether or not he is retiring from politics. In international, Florida counties hard hit by Hurricane Milton are returning to a semblance of normalcy. On Tuesday, power had been restored to most areas. Gas stations are reopening and students are preparing to return to school. Still, some neighborhoods remain without power, with many severely damaged homes and businesses, their streets flooded and filled with debris. Florida power companies had restored electricity to about 93% of the 3.4 million homes and businesses that lost service. Milton made landfall south of Tampa late last Wednesday as a Category 3 hurricane, smacking the region with winds of 120 miles per hour and a storm surge of up to 10 feet. At least 11 people died as a result. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Shop and win a mega kitchen from Megamart. Spend $6,000 or more before GCT at any Megamart location and fill out the entry form provided for a chance to win a brand new stove, fridge, and microwave this Christmas from Appliance Traders Limited. Visit us on social media to win monthly prizes courtesy of Lasco, Grace Foods, and Facey Commodity Company Limited. Promotion runs from September 30 to December 6. Shop now to win a mega kitchen from Megamart. The best value by far. Conditions apply. Must be 18 years or older to enter. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
You good, Mark? No, you know, from what day me have these terrible heartburns. I don't know why.
What kind of food you eating?
To tell you the truth, you know, I mostly eat fast food. I live alone and I'm too busy for cook my youth.
That's your problem. You're eating too much processed food and building up trans fat.
Trans fat? What that?
Trans fat is a type of fat in a processed foods like fried chicken, fries, donuts, and them things there.
So how that cause heartburn?
So eating trans fat can cause acid reflux. So if you don't stop eat it or cut back on the amount you eat, things can get worse.
Like what?
You can get heart attacks, stroke, stroke, type 2 diabetes, or even die.
But fats and oils no important for eat, my youth.
Yes, but the healthy kind in a vegetable aisle, nuts and fish.
Okay, no, me gonna switch up my diet starting today.
Just remember to balance it out with your fresh fruits, vegetables, and ground provision.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Want to start investing in real estate with as little as $25,000? Then the JMMB Optimum Capital Real Estate Fund may fit your future best with tax-free advantages and returns above inflation. Visit jm.jmmb.com to get started today. Conditions apply.
In your morning sports report, Jamaica played out a goalless draw with Honduras at the National Stadium on Monday night to punch their ticket to the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Nations League. The Jamaicans finished atop of Group B in League A with 8 points. The first leg of the quarterfinals will be played on November 14, with the second leg set for November 18. Now, the West Indies will be going for a series win when they take on hosts Sri Lanka in the second match of their 3-match T20 series at the Rangiri Dambula International Stadium today. The Windies lead the series 1-0 following their 5-wicket win in Game 1. However, all-rounder Roston Chase says there are still a few areas that needs improving.
We played a good game of cricket. We just, after the start that we had from King and Lewis, I just thought that we fell down a bit in the middle overs there. We lost a couple quick wickets, so if that's just one thing that we can concentrate on, not losing wickets in clusters, I think that we'll be even more clinical in winning. Yeah, I thought the bowlers started well in the power play. The ball was doing a bit, so it was nice to see from the new ball bowlers just getting the ball to move and testing the Sri Lankan batsmen. But yeah, I just think if we could probably pick up a bit more 2 wickets in the middle, it'll make it easier for the guys to come into the back end and execute.
Roston Chase. National swimmer Nathaniel Thomas is excited about his performance at the recent Dan Ross Indiana Intercollegiate Meet at the Morgan J. Burke Aquatic Center in Indiana. Swimming for the home team, the University of Indianapolis, Thomas earned 2 wins at the meet. He took the top spot in the 100-yard freestyle and led off the Boilermakers' victorious A team in the 200-yard freestyle relay. Thomas won the 100-yard freestyle in 45.55 seconds. Thomas, an industrial design major, split 20.73 seconds to help the Boilermakers A team top the field in 1 minute 22.29 in the 200-yard freestyle relay. He says he's motivated by his time.
I would say I had a very good performance at the Dan Ross Invitational Meet this past weekend, particularly in the 100-meter freestyle, which I won. I think overall the team had a very good performance for our first home meet. We put up a lot of good times for the start of the season, considering the volume of training we've been doing. And I think this sets us up really well for the season going forward, to be swimming this fast with little to no rest. And so to see these times now, it's very motivating for the rest of the season, and I'm looking forward to what we can accomplish.
Nathaniel Thomas wrapping up your morning sports.
Looking to add a touch of elegance to your room? The Lighting World by Fosrich is having a massive lighting blowout sale. Get your wall lamps, chandeliers, ceiling lamps, fans, and more at amazingly low prices. Sale begins Sunday, September 29, with up to 50% off selected items. It's the Fosrich Lighting Blowout Sale, September 29. Shop and save only at Fosrich. Open Sundays.
In business this morning, Scotiabank says effective October 1, prospective clients in the Caribbean wishing to open an account can now do so entirely online. The financial institution says the platform's capability to now accept new account requests is an expansion of the digital onboarding process previously made available to existing Scotiabank clients last year. In a statement to the media, the bank noted that this element of its global strategy is to make doing business with Scotia easier, and the ability to open an account online will improve the overall client experience. The new process features enhanced data management and responsive designs which are intuitive for clients. Scotia says new clients can also be assured that the information they provide is protected and that the process for opening their accounts online will be easy and seamless. Additionally, it says the use of technology will allow complete document review and personal ID verification remotely while providing enhanced security, privacy, and efficiency. Now, Google has signed a deal to use small nuclear reactors to generate the vast amounts of energy needed to power its artificial intelligence AI data centers. The BBC is reporting that the company says the agreement with Kairos Power will see it start using the first reactor this decade and bring more online by 2035. The companies did not give any details about how much the deal is worth or where the plants will be built. Technology firms are increasingly turning to nuclear sources of energy to supply the electricity used by the huge data centers that drive AI. Finally, now in foreign exchange trading, the Jamaican dollar has lost 32 cents and will open trading today, selling for an average $159.48 against the benchmark U.S. dollar. The Jamaican dollar has gained $2.75 and will open trading this morning, selling for an average $113.79 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican has gained 86 cents and will open trading this morning, selling for an average $207.38 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
I don't have no time for whole heap of paperwork. That's why I downloaded and signed up for my 1JN Passport app. Get it all in one go. Download and sign up now. The temperature by the 1JN Passport app is
28 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston and out west in Montego Bay, 27 degrees Celsius.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:30.
Imagine opening a bank account without ever leaving your home. Well, at CIBC Caribbean, we've changed the game. Open a new CIBC savings or checking account completely online using your computer or phone, anywhere, anytime. No need to visit the bank, no waiting in line. Just apply, verify, and sign your documents, all online. It's secure, seamless, and 100% digital. Open your new CIBC account by applying online today.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10 or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice in the electrical business.
So where you get? The new Popeye's blackened chicken sandwich, my girl. The flavor just hits different.
Blackened like it burn up?
Nah, man. Blackened because of the color of the Louisiana herbs and spices. Blackened like the flavor buck. No breading and the seasoning soaked deep in the chicken. But get yours and try it, cause me nah share yours. Get the new Popeye's blackened chicken sandwich. Limited time only.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Upgrade your home or business with Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Explore our range of termite-resistant plywood, quartz, solid surface, and granite. Experience timeless elegance with our cedar doors, crafted from premium cedar stock, kiln-dried for durability and beauty. For quality and craftsmanship, visit us at the Trade Center Kingston 10 or Hatfield Mandeville. Call 876-963-0628 to 30. Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Transform your space today.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
The 5% Club is now taking new members. Sounds exclusive? We don't want it to be. You see, it's made up of less than 5% of women who get screened for breast cancer in our country each year. At Sagicor, we've made it our mission to help to change the statistics. In fact, with 5,000 more women getting screened, we can officially become the 6% Club. And we won't stop there. So please get checked. Early detection saves lives. Go to bit.ly/5% Club JA.
Try a little more.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. You are tuned in to Nationwide this morning. NTM, the big show. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us on the Nationwide 90 FM live YouTube channel. If you're joining us out there in Radioland, good morning to all of our radio peeps on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9. If you're joining us from the app, hello to you this morning. And if you're joining us from the website, hello to you as well. Happy to have all of our listeners as well as our viewers. I did see some of you in the YouTube chat with a lot of dancing emojis, a lot of smiley faces to the two versions of this song that we were playing first, as would a lot of you familiar with that reggae band outside of the UK. And then we played the Ziggy Marley version of the song, a song that you guys are rocking on this morning. Now, before we go to the What's on My Mind segment with Sandre, to indicate to our listeners, just in case you missed the newscast at 6 o'clock, that Jamaicans are being urged to brace for unstable weather conditions between today and Friday. That's what the Met Service is saying. They put out a release yesterday that said that the unstable weather conditions are associated with a tropical wave currently across Hispaniola. So the tropical wave is expected to merge with a developing area of low pressure southwest of Jamaica by Tuesday night. And it says the disturbed weather will bring with it its cloudy conditions with periods of showers and thunderstorms to affect sections of most parishes, especially southern parishes. The Met Service is also telling us about strong gusty winds that are also expected, especially across southern parishes and southern marine areas. So the advice this morning is to walk with your umbrellas. If it is that you have your water boots in office, dust them off. You might need them. But importantly as well, the people who are seeking to go to the river, a number of people have died over the last couple of months who were at the river. The river was in spate and they went downstream and unfortunately died. So you want to keep that in mind when it is that you are going on your recreational activities, especially if you are going on those recreational activities with children around. You have to keep an eye on them, be very vigilant. And when you hear weather alerts like this, the best thing to do is not to go to the river. Not to go to the river, because there's a possibility that the river is going to be in spate at some times. Heavy rains, this is what happens. So look out for that. Be very vigilant about that. The Met Service is also advising fishers and other marine interests, especially those inshore and offshore the south coast, to exercise extreme caution. This as sea conditions are expected to deteriorate in these conditions as well. And the Met Service is advising that it will continue to monitor the system. I see a lot of you in the YouTube chat saying hello to Sandre. Sandre will be with us shortly to tell us what is on his mind. Hello to you, Leonard Seville, to Music My. Good morning to you as well. Hello, Albert Morgan, Evan Gordon, Betsy Powell. I see you too. Hello to you. Philip Jackson. Haven't seen you in a while. Good morning to you, Philip Jackson. Annie Smith. Good morning as well to you. I'm seeing our usuals, Marigold Weber. Good morning. Colin Plummer. Kurt Buchanan. Juliet Sanchez. Good morning as well to you. Good morning as well to Nadine Dockery. Demas345. Good morning. Terrence Jones, always in the chat too. Hello to you. Hello, greetings as well to, is this Kurt Buchanan? Good morning as well. Nadine Dockery. Did I say you? Hello to you as well. All of you joining us in the YouTube chat. Good morning to you. Doing my little roll call. And Terrell Campbell, are you new to the chat? Is this the first time you're joining the chat space? Terrell Campbell, you look new. But if you're not new, hello to you. Thank you so much for coming on over again this morning. And you know somebody's name who we normally call it wrong? It's Shine's Law Boss. We often refer to him as Shin's Law, but it's Shines. He says it's Shines Law Boss, hello to you. I see you. Max Rami, always in the chat. Good morning as well. Ryan Chung, Bert Plus, Michael Gray, Ricardo Goldburn, one of my usuals. Hello to you as well. Hello as well to Toya Camp 24. All of you guys, or somebody says, what about me now? You see, I put myself in trouble. Everton Greenwood, Greenwords, I see you. Hello to you as well. And Georgelyn Grant. Are you new to the chat, Georgelyn? Hello to you. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us. Otis Blessing, Kizzy Reed, all of you greeting me. I am so happy to have all of you in the chat. Yeah, always a good time. You guys engage with us, whether you disagree or not on the perspectives that we're sharing. We're always happy to have you. Donovan, Shellyan Perrin. Hello to you, Shellyan. Lamar Pinnock. Hi, good morning. And Kevin. Yeah, good morning to you as well, Kevin. Angela Jones, our usual. Hey to you. Lord, love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us. Happy to have all of you. And here goes Nats J, who's always asking for the warm. Nats J, we got you. Sandre.
Hi, morning. morning. You know, Jermaine might have let me out there for a second. Good morning, listeners. Morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm here live and direct. And of course, we have a little bit of time, as it were, for the WOM, which is what's on my mind. And I definitely won't be long. You know, I want to talk a little bit, really quickly, about the impact of geopolitical conflict on the economies of small island developing states. Now, you know, I've been battling for a time to do a podcast on international stuff, which will be very interesting. But when we look at what happens across the world, I remember a couple months ago, I think all the way back in the local government time period, when I was doing some political commentary, there was a political acolyte that disagreed with me, as it were, when we spoke to the impact of the wars that's happening around the world on their economy. Now, many times we hear the politicians speak about supply chain issues and we don't understand. We don't understand why, we don't understand what that means. And that leads me to this conversation. So we know about, hopefully all my listeners know about all the things I'm going to speak about. Israel and Hamas. We know now about Iran and Israel. We know about Russia versus Ukraine, etc. And these conflicts are happening across the world right now as we speak. When you look at it, a country that sits squarely as a small island developing state, we rely on things. We rely on trade in particular. And we rely on trade in particular because we don't have enough to feed ourselves. You know, we've been trying to jumpstart agriculture to be able to feed ourselves one day. We've been encouraged to do backyard gardening and all the rest of it. But that hasn't changed the fact that we see what's happening across the world. And based on what we see shifting in alliances. We see something called BRICS now, which includes those countries that are not necessarily the ones that are led by the US in that way. So you'd have the other countries on that side of things, you know, the Russia, the China on that side of things. And then, of course, you have the NATO, which is US led. When you look across the world, for all of these wars, they're one, expensive, but they all have an economic impact. How does Jamaica make its money? That's the question we have to ask ourselves many times when we talk about economy. The two major ways are remittances and tourism. Now, when we have an advisory issued by the United States of America as it relates to not Jamaicans, but tourists coming in or citizens of the U.S. coming to Jamaica saying it's unsafe, that impacts, you know, our tourism product. And of course, you know, the Minister of Tourism works really hard to go out and promote the tourism product. And when that's impacted, that impacts our balance sheets. When it impacts our balance sheets, it impacts our economy. So I wasn't shocked when I saw that the Minister of Finance, he went into Parliament and said there's going to be, a possible decline in our economy as it relates to that. So when you consider it, Tana, it's not just the tourism. He also mentioned Hurricane Beryl, and then that says to you, as I wrap up, that we have to ensure that when we look at our economy, we have to have in our minds, the back of our minds, that things happening around the world can affect our economy. External shocks like Beryl can affect our economy. And based on that, we should always be open to seeing what's happening around the world, because it will have an impact on what happens in a small island developing state like Jamaica. And that's what's on my mind.
Resolve your conflict peacefully with restorative justice. Call 876-906-4923. The time by the Ministry of Justice is
6:49.
When last you get good bun, you don't know good bun until you have a mother's bakery bun. From you pull out the wrapper and it's soft so till. A sub bun for nice. And from when you take the first bite, love it so till. A sub bun for nice. Beg your piece.
Get your own mother's bakery bun.
I will buy one off you.
Yes, but I will charge a convenience fee.
I will take one. Me too. Mother's bakery buns. A sub bun for nice. Try them today.
Azen Super Center in Midtown Crossroads, a place you've come to know and trust for quality and the best prices. Now, come see our expanded range of products, fine furnishings, kitchenware, your smart TVs, and all things electronics, and the latest in curtains, bed linen, and bathroom accessories. It's the new and expanded Azen Super Center in Midtown Crossroads with convenient, safe, and free parking. Shop with a smile at Azen Super Center.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Yeah, when you hear those horns, you know what time it is. It's time for Street Smart. And of course, we have Ludlow McLean is out there on our streets, ready to give us that update. Good morning, Ludlow.
Good morning, Andre. I want to pronounce it properly.
Yes, you got it perfect. Oh gosh, Ludlow. Yes, man.
I've been hearing different names, different pronunciations, but I think I have it right.
Yes, you have it right, Ludlow.
Correct. Tona morning.
Hey to you, Ludlow.
It's a general thing, but by the way, let me tell you, I'm hearing that there are heavy rains in Portmore's experiencing rain, but I'm not exactly sure where it is. But I got a call this morning. If there's any rain in the corporate area, so far no. But in Portmore, it's raining. Didn't ascertain where exactly in Portmore, so be aware of that. But however, the regular traffic situation in the corporate area continues in respect of the major thoroughfare, Washington Boulevard, Spanish Town Road. If you're up in the Red Hills area, coming out the foot of the hills to get onto Red Hills Road, then over in the other side, Havendale, by way of Roehampton, going out to Manning Road, Constant Spring going down, and if you're in the Shortwood Road area, all the way down to Constant Spring Road. So it means that things are building. I can see all the traffic in various areas, Cassia Park, Walton Park Road, Mullines Road, heading towards Alpha Tree. So it's a very busy Tuesday morning, and no doubt it will continue. We need to hear about more in Africa too, Sondre. So you do one on that, okay? It's back to you, Sondre.
Oh, thank you, Ludlow. I heard you know.
See what's happening in Africa too.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of things happening there too.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Mali,
yes, I actually think we need to discuss that one of these days. But thank you, Ludlow. We're going to go for a break. That was Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. We're going to go for a break and we'll be right back with you.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Your word of the day spelled VARBATIM. One many of you are familiar with VERBATIM.
verbatim, verbatim, verbatim.
Verbatim is your word of the day. It's an adverb, and it means in exactly the same words, word for word. Verbatim is your word of the day. Dictionary.com is telling us that the word verbatim is a very old word. That's what Dictionary.com is saying, because verbatim was first recorded in 1475. Was first recorded between 1475 and 1485. To use it in a sentence, the presenter quoted the report verbatim, word for word, leaving no room for interpretation. Another for you. The email was shared verbatim, word for word, exactly the same words, with a team to make sure everyone had the same information. The definition again, in exactly the same words, word for word, verbatim, verbatim.
So you read that verbatim.
Exactly. Verbatim is your word of the day. Up next, your features, and at the top of the hour, the news.
Many persons rely heavily on caffeine to stay awake and to be functional throughout the day. Today in Food for Thought, we'll be looking at 9 alternatives to being alert without caffeine. Depending on your daily responsibilities, getting up in the mornings may be one of the most challenging tasks of your day. For most persons, a cup of coffee or two is all they need to jumpstart their day. While coffee has health benefits for your brain and liver health, caffeine can be a masking agent of fatigue. If you find yourself constantly reaching for a caffeinated beverage when tired, it's time for you to make some lifestyle changes. Cleveland Clinic suggests these 9 alternatives to consuming caffeinated beverages. Grab a glass of water. Your body is typically dehydrated when you wake up in the mornings. So before anything, get a glass of room temperature water. This can make you feel more awake. You should exercise. Nothing extreme, but doing 5 jumping jacks or a short 5-minute walk will get your blood flowing, wake up your muscles, which will make you feel more alert. Pile on the nutrients. Instead of consuming caffeine and refined sugar, which give you a brief moment of energy followed by a crash later, a healthier approach is to eat some natural sources of sugar like fresh fruit. So, rather than having lattes throughout the day when you feel low on energy, opt for a banana or an apple for a quick pick-me-up. Improve your sleeping habits. You might think this is a bit too on the nose, but if you're feeling tired, chances are there's something off with your sleeping habit. To ensure that you have the best night's rest, it's best to avoid alcohol and food 2 hours before bed. Sleep in a cool, dark room, and avoid electronic screens 1 hour before bed. On average, you should get 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. Manage your stress. Even low-grade stress for days on end can leave you feeling exhausted. Try managing your stress levels by turning to yoga, regular exercise, massages, or other self-care routines to break up the slog that's holding you back. Get some sun. Your body has a 24-hour internal clock known as the circadian rhythm. This controls your body's sleep-wake cycle, including when your brain releases certain hormones and how organs operate at different times. By getting some fresh air and walking in the sun, or even sitting outside for a few minutes each day, you can improve your circadian rhythm, which also helps you get better sleep. To not shock your body with the change from caffeine, it's best to wean yourself off caffeinated beverages in stages. Quitting cold turkey can result in you experiencing severe withdrawal symptoms like headaches, irritability, or jitterness. Following the tips we give can make this process a bit easier. That's all for Food for Thought today.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
Diabetes is among the list of chronic illnesses in Jamaica. For many of you, it's not as easy to deal with, especially in children. Hi, I'm Tana, and today on Lifestyle Pages, ideal foods for a child with diabetes.
Healthy snacks are important for kids with diabetes. When deciding what snacks to give your child, incorporate all food groups. Have them try a low-fat cracker and all-natural peanut butter. Add some yogurt to their diet. Make sure it's low-fat and no sugar. And grapes. Remember, a snack isn't a snack if your child doesn't eat the next meal. They might not like new foods at first, so be the example you want your child to mirror. That was your Lifestyle Pages. I'm Tana.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
From Negril Point to Morant Bay, a little kindness can go a far way. The time by the Jamaica Information Service is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston Ormo Bay. The temperature by National Supply is...
28 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 27 out west in Montego Bay.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 for this morning, Tuesday, October 15, 2024. Murders down 19% since the start of the year. Court administration blames limited resources and lengthy procurement for state of court infrastructure. West Portland MP Darrell Vaz signals intention to step away from representational politics following the next general election. And in international news, WHO administers over 90,000 doses of the polio vaccine to children in Gaza despite Israeli strikes. The details after the break.
News at 7 is brought to you by Fosrich, your electrical, lighting, solar, and LED people.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
With the details, I'm Tana Thomas. Jamaicans are being urged to brace for unstable weather conditions between Tuesday and Friday. That's according to the Meteorological Service of Jamaica. In a release on Monday, the Met Service says this is due to unstable weather associated with a tropical wave currently across Hispaniola. The tropical wave is expected to merge with a developing area of low pressure southwest of Jamaica by Tuesday night. It says the disturbed weather will bring with it cloudy conditions with periods of showers and thunderstorms to affect sections of most parishes, especially southern parishes. Strong gusty winds are also expected, especially across southern parishes and southern marine areas. The Met Service is advising fishers and other marine interests, especially those inshore and offshore the south coast, to exercise extreme caution. This as sea conditions are expected to deteriorate in these conditions. The Met Service says it will continue to monitor the system. Now, the country has recorded a 19% reduction in murders since the start of the year. That's according to the latest crime statistics from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. According to the JCF, 897 people have been murdered between January 1 and October 12. Norgay Banton reports.
According to the JCF's last crime report on October 5, there were 879 recorded murders across the island. 7 days later, 18 more murders were reported. But despite the latest reports, the JCF says homicides continue to trend down. In its October 12 crime report, the JCF says the country recorded 213 fewer murders than the corresponding period last year. However, St. James continues to record the most murders in any police division with 109 homicides. That figure is still lower when compared to the corresponding period last year, with 155 people killed. St. James is followed by St. Andrew South with 80 murders. The Westmoreland Police Division had 79 homicides. Manchester, Trelawney, St. Elizabeth, St. Andrew Central and St. Andrew North all recorded increases. Portland continues to record the least number of murders with 8. Meanwhile, shootings have declined by 6%, coming in at 818 as at October 12. Other major crimes such as robberies, rapes, and break-ins also continue to decline. Nora Gay Banton for Nationwide News.
The director and CEO of the Court Administration Division, CAD, Tricia Cameron Anglin, says maintaining the court infrastructure across the country is hampered by limited resources and lengthy procurement processes. Court officers have complained about the poor state of the country's courts, including inadequate or lack of bathroom facilities and non-functioning air conditioning units. Mrs. Cameron Anglin says some of the actions required to address the complaints may look simple, but are delayed by the aforementioned issues. She was speaking to journalists at the end of a CAD press conference at Jewel Paradise Resort in St. Anne on Monday.
We have one carpenter, one plumber, and one electrician to service the entire judiciary for the 60 complexes. So, and this is known, it's not a surprise. So it could never be a maintenance issue. What we have to do is outsource a lot of the work within the areas to assist us. And when we outsource, we are outsourcing to approved government suppliers, which again comes with its own delays.
Cameron Anglin cited the procurement process for supplies needed for refurbishment as another hurdle for the judiciary.
We also have to take them into the procurement process, which nobody wants to hear about, which is also another intensive process which requires further delays. So when you get into a structure and you see a bathroom that needs to be, let's say a place that needs to be repainted, come on, people will say, you must can buy 2 tin of paint and paint up that place. That shouldn't be that difficult to do. And it is easy to do, but hard to get through the process to just get the 2 tins of paints inside there.
Tricia Cameron Angling, Director and CEO of the Court Administration Division. Member of Parliament for West Portland, Darrell Vaz, says his wife Anne-Marie will continue to serve as the Member of Parliament for East Portland following the impending general election. The People's National Party PNP recently named Attorney-at-Law Isaac Buchanan as the party's standard-bearer for the constituency. However, Mr. Vaz is confident that regardless of the PNP's choice, his wife will again secure victory.
My wife is more popular than I am in the parish of Portland, and she only came there in 2019. But if you know her disposition, and if you know her passion, and if you know her love for people and for her country, you will understand why it is that she has been as successful as she has. If Anne-Marie Vaz and Neophyte could have beaten Damian Crawford with his political popularity within the PNP and outside of the PNP, a new name, no-name candidate cannot beat her. She has endeared herself to the people. She has me behind her to make sure to do all of the political strategy and to make sure and help her to get her votes into the ballot box.
Anne-Marie Vaz previously won the seat in a 2019 by-election, defeating the PNP's Damon Crawford by over 300 votes. Her win broke the PNP's 30-year hold on the East Portland constituency. While extending well wishes to Buchanan, Mr. Vaz adds that he doubts the people of Portland will support him, citing his controversial past.
I don't speak ill of people. I don't know the gentleman. I've only read about him and read about his past. And the bottom line is that sort of situation is not one that Portlanders will welcome. You know where we are and what we are and Portland and the type of people. But guess what? Wish him luck. Look forward to a clean campaign, crime-free campaign, and let the best person win. But I can tell you one thing. He's not running against Anne-Marie. He's running against Anne-Marie and Darrell.
Darrell Vaz, Western Portland Member of Parliament. He was speaking during Nationwide at 5 on Monday. Meanwhile, Mr. Vaz has announced that the next general election, constitutionally due in 2025, will be his final one.
I've made it clear that, that my political life is winding down and I'll be running the next election. And that is it. I'm 60 years old. I've been it from 23 years old, on and off. This is my last election. And I can tell you something. I'm so committed to this administration under the leadership of Andrew Hornish that if it was not for him, I probably would not have run another election. And therefore, I want to make sure that when I leave, that Jamaica is on the right track and continues to be on the right track. And I do believe that the Andrew Holness-led administration has been an exemplary government.
Darrell Vaz, Western Portland, Member of Parliament. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says poultry producers have promised to ramp up chicken production within the next 2 weeks. Rapid assessments have shown that the sector has been negatively impacted by the downturn of chicken production from small poultry farmers. Recently, it was reported that there was a 10% decline in the overall production of chicken meat across the island. A meeting was held on Friday with members of the ministry and stakeholders to assess the scale of chicken production across the island and to discuss measures to boost supply. Minister Green says producers are expecting chicks distributed to be fully developed in another 2 weeks.
We did see from the rapid assessment that the sector is being negatively impacted from the downturn in production of the small poultry farmers. Plus, we also saw that there has been an increase in demand for chicken meat, especially for whole chicken and for chicken parts. As such, we would have gone through various interventions. Poultry providers, main poultry producers indicated that they were ramping up production and they expect that over the next 2 weeks they will be able to satisfy the demand. And based on the distribution from RADA, which would have started the first week of August and would have run through the majority of August, they also expect that in another 2 weeks a lot of the chicks that were distributed would be coming to term and as such would make their way to market.
He says that the ministry will be following up with the poultry farmers this week to check on the progress of production.
One of the things that we decided to do coming out of that meeting, because the poultry producers would have provided us with some figures in relation to their inventory and in relation to their production numbers. So the ministry team this week, Monday and Tuesday, will be visited with our 2 major poultry players, checking their inventory just to ensure that it is in keeping with the information that has been provided and checking the progress regarding the commitments to ramp up production. We will do that for this week, and then we will be in a better state to say whether those commitments that have been made in the meeting are being adhered to. So we do expect that over the next 2 weeks, our consumers will be much more able to get all the chicken that they need.
Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his administration intends to position Portmore as the Silicon Valley of the Caribbean as he attempts to make Jamaica the hub of technological development for the region. The Prime Minister says this is what informs his decision to make Portmore the country's 15th parish.
Jamaica is now looking to develop itself as the technological hub of the Caribbean, and Portmore will become the Silicon Valley of Jamaica. That is our intention. We are going to make Portmore a parish, and we are going to make Portmore the city parish, and we are going to make Portmore the technological capital of the Caribbean, because you have here the human resources, and as I say, I see a lot of young people. You have the young people who have the basic requirement to be given that kind of what they call IT training.
Silicon Valley is a region in Northern California that is highly considered the leading global center for high technology and innovation. Mr. Holness says, unlike previous administrations which have made grandiose promises regarding Portmore, his government has delivered. The Prime Minister says that the area is primed for purposeful and high-tech development.
And also have here a very good representation of the global services industries. You call it BPO, but we move away from that long time. What we are going to create here now is called knowledge services. The people who write the programs, the people who check and correct the programs, the people who do the accounting, the people who do the auditing, the people who do the legal and paralegal, the people who do read the medical records and the medical charts. All of that is a new industry that we are going to create.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, he was speaking at the Area 2 Constituency Conference on Sunday at the Portmore Heart Academy. Member of the JLP's Communication Task Force, Marlon Morgan, is reiterating the call for the PNP's Donovan Mitchell to resign as Mayor of Mandeville and aspirant for the Manchester Central constituency.
Donovan Mitchell is a senior member of the PNP and should be fully aware of the standards to which public officials are held. In circumstances where lives are being lost as a result of lottery scamming related violence in the very municipality and parish over which he has superintendence as mayor, I think it is absolutely disturbing and insulting that he would expect the public to accept that he was merely speaking sarcastically. Unexplained wealth and lottery scamming are too serious a scourge in our society for any idle jesting or so-called sarcastic comments.
Call from Mayor Mitchell to resign stemmed from last Thursday's sitting of the Manchester Municipal Corporation. At the meeting, Councillor for the Craighead Division, Omar Miller, sought to explain that some entertainment events in the parish are being funded by lottery scammers. But Mayor Mitchell told Councillor Miller to sit down, as there's nothing wrong with unexplained wealth. Since his remark, there have been several calls from Mitchell to step down. But on Sunday, the mayor, that's the Mandeville mayor, said at no point did he offer support for scamming, nor did he intend to convey such a message. Mitchell said his response was a sarcastic jab aimed at the JLP's current behavior. However, Mr. Morgan is doubling down on his call for the mayor to demit office.
At no point whatsoever in his 7 paragraphs long press release did he express regret or acknowledge that his comments had the effect of signaling support for lottery scamming and other illicit means of wealth accumulation. In doubling down, Mayor Mitchell has essentially insulted the intelligence of well-thinking Jamaicans and has further offended our sensibilities. The people of Manchester, and I dare say Jamaica, deserve much better public accountability and leadership than that being offered by Donovan Mitchell. And as such, he should resign forthwith. He has to go.
Marlon Morgan, member of the JLP's Communication Task Force. And in international news now, the World Health Organization, WHO, said on Tuesday it had been able to start its polio campaign in central Gaza to vaccinate tens of thousands of children. This despite Israeli strikes in the designated protected zone hours before. A WHO spokesperson told a Geneva press briefing that over 92,000 children, or around half of those targeted in the central area, had been inoculated on Monday. Humanitarian pauses in the year-long Gaza war had been due to begin early on Monday as part of an agreement between the Israeli military and a Palestinian militant group, Hamas. But hours before then, the UN Humanitarian Office said Israeli forces struck tents near a hospital inside the zone. 4 people were burned to death. The UN Palestinian Refugee Agency said a school in central Gaza, intended as a vaccination site, was also hit overnight between Sunday and Monday, killing up to 22 people. And that's it for the news at 7. I'm Tawna Thomas.
News at 7 was brought to you by Fosrich, your electrical, lighting, solar, and LED people.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:17.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
That time of the morning again when we get our second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Hey to you, Ludlow.
Morning again, Tawna, listeners, motoring public, or visitors, welcome. Those who are here and those who have left us, or those who are in the process of leaving, welcome. You just make sure you had a great time while you're in Jamaica. Well, the traffic remains, Crossroads, Retirement Road, Lyndhurst Road, Russell Road, all these areas of traffic, and even down towards, if you're heading towards Slipe Road, Tudor One Boulevard, heading towards Slipe Road, going further down towards Zero Circle, very busy area now. Those of you who are heading towards Euro Circle, going around to the high school there, Wilmot, you're going to have some traffic in that particular area. And if you're going further down towards East Street and going across the Windward Road to Victoria Avenue, all these areas have traffic. And it's going to be like this for the rest of the morning and even beyond that. Just want to remind the motorists that I hear that it's raining in Portmore. I don't know to what extent, but just be mindful of that. And as usual, be safe. And at Street Smart, your safety is all concerned. Donna?
Thank you so much, Ludlow. That was Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Up next, the front page.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. You're now tuned in to our discussion segment, The Front Page. On the front page this morning, the Education Minister on this matter of hair grooming policies for males at GC Foster College. So senior lecturer at GC Foster College of Physical Education and Sport, Dwight Angus, says the college's grooming rule for males was adopted from the education policy that governs teachers' colleges. Male students at GC Foster College of Physical Education and Sport are frustrated that the college's grooming policy, or frustrated with the college's grooming policy, which bans long hair, cornrows and plaits. Speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Friday, Mr. Angus said the students have agreed to the policy outlined in the student handbook.
The policy is coming from out of the education policy that governs the teacher training institution. As most persons will realize, is that for the teaching profession, once an individual has decided to become a teacher, then that individual would have signed up themselves for a training. And training includes not only the content thereby, but it carries with it a holistic approach. Therefore, the policy has been in place, and these policy directives are clearly articulated in the student handbook that the male, the requirement in terms of how we appear as males. The students would have had their handbooks and they would have been signatory to that which governed them at the institution.
Dwight Angus, Senior Lecturer at the G.C. Foster College of Physical Education and Sport. He was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Friday. Early this year, the Court of Appeal ruled that Kensington Primary School in Portmore, St. Catherine, breached the constitutional rights of a child when it denied her access to school based on her dreadlocked hairstyle. The ruling party overturned a July 2020 ruling by the Constitutional Court, which found that none of the child's constitutional rights had been breached.
The then 5-year-old child was denied enrollment at Kensington Primary after the principal advised her parents that the school had a policy against the wearing of dreadlocks. GC Foster College of Physical Education and Sport is a training institution for adults. For more, we're being joined by the Minister of Education, Favour Williams. Good morning to you.
Morning, Minister.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. Minister Williams, does the Ministry of Education govern the grooming policy at teachers' colleges, including GC Foster?
I'm not aware of that. I made sure that I spoke with the principal yesterday of GC Foster College, and the two publications that I became aware of was their student handbook, 2021-2022. And when I read that, it does have something to say about dress code, but not in any great detail. It's just that students are required to wear uniforms and must conform to the general rules and regulations with regards to uniform and overall grooming for male and female. Students should conduct themselves in a manner that is conducive to socially accepted behavior, as persons are trained to become professionals. There is another handbook to which the principal referred, and that's the Teachers Colleges of Jamaica handbook. I've asked him to see a copy of that, and we both agreed that it should be reviewed if it speaks to, if it's so restrictive on hair, how students wear their hair, that it needs to be reviewed. But I have not read through it as yet. I've asked to see a copy of it because I understand that handbook is what guides the teaching colleges.
We can tell you what that handbook says in relation to the male students. It says men are required to wear appropriate clothing, tailored pants and shirts for classes. No cornrows, plaits or twisting is allowed. Also, hair should be half-inch in length and properly combed. Failure to do so will result in students being barred from entering the class. Then it says men are not allowed to wear earrings on campus at any time.
That's GC Foster's 2021-22
handbook. So we both agreed that that needs to be reviewed.
And when you say reviewed, what sort of review do you think should take place, or what should obtain if it is that they amend the handbook going forward?
Well, I don't believe it should be so restrictive. I think as a society we have moved away from certain things in terms of, well, let's just say as a society we're more accepting of certain hairstyles now in 2024 than we were, let's say, in 1980. I don't know. It sounds as if this particular handbook, the Teachers Colleges of Jamaica handbook, has not been reviewed or updated since it was probably created. And I believe that now is a perfect time for that review to happen. I understand that that's a handbook that all other teachers' colleges use as well, and so it is a good time to bring all of them together to say we have to review this. It was written in another time, and the society is more accepting of just different styles and greater expression.
Minister, you hearing us? No. All right. We had a bit of a technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Can we take a break and come back with the Minister of Education speaking on the matter of the grooming policy at GC Foster College of Physical Education and Sport for their male students? Going to take a break and come back with the Minister of Education while we fix that technical difficulty.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:29.
Imagine opening a bank account without ever leaving your home. Well, at CIBC Caribbean, we've changed the game. Open a new CIBC savings or checking account completely online using your computer or phone anywhere, anytime. No need to visit the bank, no waiting in line. Just apply, verify, and sign your documents all online. It's secure, seamless, and 100% digital. Open your new CIBC account by applying online today.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Delicious meals, poolside cocktails, right on the beach. Disconnect from the daily worries and reconnect with the one you love. There's no paradise like home. Enjoy a romantic all-inclusive escape at Couples Tower Isle in Ocherias from $299 per night. Take advantage of this offer today by calling Couples Resorts at 876-632-8200. Conditions apply.
When last you get good bun, you don't know good bun until you have a mother's bakery bun. From you pull open the wrapper and it's soft so till. A sub bun for nice. And from when you take the first bite, love it so till. A sub bun for nice. Beg your piece.
Get your own mother's bakery bun.
I will buy one off you.
Yes, but I will charge a convenience fee.
I will take one. Me too. Mother's bakery buns. A sub bun for nice. Try them today.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Alrighty. We're on the front page and we're back with you. Of course, we're still talking about the hair grooming policy for males, and of course we zeroed in on the GC Foster college situation that we would have been talking about since last week, as our listeners are well aware, Tana, because they say you've been at it since last week. But we still have with us the Minister of Education, Minister Favour Williams. And Minister, I'm going to put it to you really quickly. Is it the case that in the teaching profession, males are allowed to wear their hairs in cornrows, etc., as long as it's groomed properly, as of right now?
As of right now, I would say yes. it is a hairstyle that's accepted by society, and it's accepted by society.
And if you do have an update based on speaking with GC Foster College, what is the situation now with the male students that would have expressed anonymously to the media that they would be barred based on their hairstyles, or the school have informed
No, I asked that specifically of the principal, and he assured me that no student has been barred from coming to classes because of their hair. He said no student. He did not hesitate. He said no student has been barred from coming to classes.
Did any student have to cut their hair to access education at GC Foster because of this rule?
His exact words were, "Has never compelled anyone to cut their hair." But obviously, again, I want to say, Tana, that there is a need to review whatever is written in that handbook, because the society has moved on in terms of its acceptance of a wider variety of hairstyles among men and women. And, it's accepted this in all areas of society, in the workplace, at church, at social events. And so there is a definite need to review this, and I'm going to call on all the teachers' colleges to take a look at the Teachers' Colleges of Jamaica handbook and do whatever consultation needs to be done and update that handbook to reflect just the greater acceptance of the variety of hairstyles as an expression of our individuality.
Right. And is a Ministry of Education intervention something that can be done in what will go next in the handbook when it's reviewed? Or the ministry stays silent on the matter? It's not brought before you?
No, it will be matters of this kind. You have to allow consultation. The ministry cannot just decree for this to happen. We live in a democracy, and we have to hear people's views. It takes some time to make the rounds on that and to get to consensus, but it's something that we have to do in all the policies that I see developed at the ministry. We have to go through that consultation period. We don't just stand up and declare and decree.
So the word from the Minister of Education this morning is that she has called for a review of that handbook, which indicates that male students, in point here at GC Foster College, have to no plaits, no cornrows, and locks allowed unless you are Rastafarian. She has called for a review of that, saying that based on the times that we're in now and hairstyles that have been acceptable in the Jamaican society for a very long time, whether you're in the teaching profession or otherwise, it indicates that there is a need for change in what hairstyles are acceptable to in our teachers' colleges. Minister, was there a timeline given by GC Foster College as to when they will possibly initiate this review?
No, this is going to be initiated by the ministry because it involves not just GC Foster College, but other colleges. I understand that this particular handbook guides other colleges as well. So the ministry will take a leading role in bringing together all the various stakeholders to do this review of the policy. There may be other things in it as we go through that would need to be updated to current times or, to think about the future. So this effort will be led by the Ministry of Education and Youth. And again, I want to stress, not because we want to take a lot of time to do this, but consultation requires us to speak to all the stakeholders, and sometimes you make many rounds, many more than you want to do, but in the interest of allowing everyone to have a say, we have to do that. And you will hear more about it because it will be public consultation.
Mm-hmm. And just before we let you go, Minister Williams, you did indicate earlier to Sandre's question as well about cornrows, male teachers having cornrows in our educational institutions. You indicated that, you didn't see any issues there. But I recall there was at least one case last year. The teacher his name was Shane Green. He applied to his alma mater for a job, and he was refused that job because he had cornrows. What pertains in those cases?
Hence the need for a review of this policy.
Yeah, but
an urgent review of this policy.
Right. Doesn't only pertain to the training institutions, but also the schools.
Right.
Okay. Minister of Education, Favour Williams, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I, Sandre, despite what people are saying in the YouTube chat, I have passionately expressed how I feel on the issue already. So if I have to come here week after week and hammer home the point, despite people's annoyance in the YouTube chat or elsewhere, I will do that because of what I've already expressed about the particular rule. I believe the rule is outdated. So I'm heartened by what I'm hearing from the Education Minister this morning, that there is going to be a review of that handbook that says that male students who are going off to teachers' colleges or are already in the system as teachers cannot have cornrows. Cannot have cornrows. I'm heartened that there will be a review of that. I look forward to the consultations, to hearing from the administrators as to why, that has been maintained as a rule, and to hear what the review or what the rules will be going forward, what will be taken out or kept. I look forward to hearing from that. Clark Loban says, hope you're satisfied, Tana. Yeah, I'm a very happy camper this morning.
Wow.
I'm a very happy camper this morning because I am for rules. I've indicated that many times here on Nationwide that I am for rules. But you can't just be a rules person. You have to look at a rule and realize whether there is rationality to it. Is it fair? Is it a rule that is justified? Yeah? Is it a rule that is barring others while accepting others? What kind of rule is it a rule that is oppressive, that is discriminatory, that is prejudicial against some? What sort of rule is it? Does the rule make sense? You have to question those things, right? And when you come down to the answer, and the answer is that it is oppressive, prejudicial, discriminatory, and not fair overall, then you have to do something about that.
But, when you spoke to Shane Green, I was saying to myself, the name is a bit familiar. But
Shane Green?
I do know this young man, actually. When I did another radio stint in the past, he was one of those people who would have volunteered in that space. But it was quite a story back in the day. But
the young and just to remind our listeners of the story, Shane Green applied to his alma mater, the high school that he used to go to before he went off to university. Mm-hmm. So he got his degree. I think he was certified in English and English literature. And the first place that he chose to apply for was the high school that he went to. They indicated that he would have to cut his hair, or if they accept him with the hair, he'd have to wear a tam. He said, okay, fine, I'll wear the tam. Then he went back to the school, and then the school said, no, even if you wear the tam, the fact that you have the hair, we're not going to employ you to be one of the teachers at our institution. And I recall the young graduate being quite disheartened and saying he couldn't understand why in this day and age his hair is neatly groomed in cornrows, or I was telling you on yesterday that he wears a man bun neatly styled, why it is that he was being treated that way. I see you're pulling up pictures from his social media page as well, where that's really neatly groomed cornrows. Is there anything there that shows or indicates to you that his hair is not properly groomed? No. Yeah, and that's the same sort of way he would be carrying his hair when he goes to the classroom. Yeah, why is that an issue? Yeah. So, happy about the review. Anywho, turning our attention now to the Justice Minister, who will be joining us shortly. Chief Justice Brian Sykes has said that maintenance for the court system requires large amounts of capital for the government's budget. Justice Sykes was addressing a press conference at the Jewel Paradise Hotel in St. Anne held by the Judiciary of Jamaica. The Chief Justice's comments follow complaints from court officers about the poor state of the country's courts. The complaints range from inadequate or lack of bathroom facilities to non-functioning air units. The concerns were put to Justice Minister Delroy Chuck last week, and he told Nationwide that he's also disappointed with the lack of proper maintenance of the courts and their infrastructure. According to Minister Chuck, the issue resides with the Court Administration Division, the CAD. But Justice Brian Sykes, the Chief Justice, rubbished the claims that there was poor maintenance since the responsibility was shifted to the division. We're now being joined by the Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck. Good morning to you.
Morning, Minister.
Hi, good morning, Tona and Sandra.
Morning,
And to your
Minister.
listeners.
Good to have you here with us. You know, we have to start the conversation as it is. I heard your statement very recently where you spoke to the fact that maintenance was an issue as it relates to our courts. But of course, we're having that back and forth because the claims were rubbished by the Chief Justice that there was poor maintenance in place. Minister, of course, the citizens are going to say the buck stops with the Minister of Justice because you are a minister. So tell us, Minister, what has been put in place as it relates to maintenance from the side of the Ministry of Justice, and what then is the responsibility of the court administration to ensure the courts are maintained?
Well, let's begin by saying that maintenance is the responsibility of the Court Administration Division, and special project or infrastructure, maintaining the infrastructure, is the responsibility of the Ministry of Justice. Now, the question arises, where do you draw the line between the normal maintenance of the court itself and the infrastructure, that special project? Now, when you look across all the courts in Jamaica, they're all old, and all of them need to be rebuilt. And I agree with the Chief Justice that most of these courts are over 60 years old. Some of them are on top of police stations, and really and truly, new courts are needed across the island. But until that happens, the Ministry of Justice has a responsibility to at least rehabilitate and ensure that the infrastructure is in good order. Now, I think for more than half the courts, the infrastructure is in fairly good order. But where the problem arises, and if you look at the demonstration over the last week or two, you can see that it is not the infrastructure that the staff is really complaining about. It is the maintenance within the courts. So you take, for instance, the Supreme Court, where they complain about the air condition and,
the
rat
bathrooms,
infestation and so on, and the bathroom facilities are out of order. These are not infrastructural problems in the real sense that you would go in and spend $5 or $10 million. These are maintenance where, say the air conditioning. I was shocked when I went there around the time of burial to hear that air conditioning was not working. I said, so why has not that been brought to the attention of the ministry? Because a decision was made by CAD to remove the central unit and put in split unit, which would cost about $40 million. I said, but that is the responsibility of the Ministry of Justice.
Right.
No, and if we had known about that a year or so ago, we had enough money to spend to put that in. The truth of the matter is, and I am not blaming CAD, because at the end of the day, we need to work with a proper protocol. I would say anything over $1 million or $5 million should be the responsibility of the Ministry of Justice. When Chief Justice McCullough was there, I asked her, let us work out a system where anything over 500,000, you direct it to the Ministry of Justice. Under 500,000, you maintain. That is, air-conditioned unit has to be maintained or replaced. If it is under 500,000, you can do so. But if a whole system needs to be replaced, then it is the Ministry of Justice.
So Minister, I want to stop you there for a quick second.
Sure.
The question I have for you then, Minister, is there a communication gap? Because that's what it sounds like to me. And what is that gap?
Minister, let's take your response. Let's take your response to Sandre's question after the break.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
7:48.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston and 27 degrees Celsius in the city of Montego Bay.
This is a public service announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The Ministry of Health and Wellness wishes to advise awardees of the Dr. Barrington Waite Memorial Scholarship Program that the deadline to complete their bonding agreement has been extended to Friday, October 18, 2024. Awardees who face challenges with meeting the requirements of their bonding agreement are encouraged to call the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service at 876-922-8600 or visit the office at 30 National Hero Circle, Kingston 4. They can also send an email to collet.mccausland@mof.gov.jm. That was a public service announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The 5% Club is now taking new members. Sounds exclusive? We don't want it to be. You see, it's made up of less than 5% of women who get screened for breast cancer in our country each year. At Sagicor, we've made it our mission to help to change the statistics. In fact, with 5,000 more women getting screened, we can officially become the 6% Club. And we won't stop there. So please get checked. Early detection saves lives. Go to bit.ly/5% Club JA.
So where you get? The new Popeyes blackened chicken sandwich, my girl. The flavor just hits different. Blackened like it burn up? Nah, man. Blackened because of the color of the Louisiana herbs and spices. Blackened like the flavor buck. No breading and the seasoning soaked deep in the chicken. But get yours and try it, cause me nah share yours. Get the new Popeyes blackened chicken sandwich. Limited time only. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Mark your calendars! The biggest shopping experience of the year is back!
Get ready for the Jamaica Open Service Take Style Out 2024, happening October 24 to 26.
It's your chance to shop and save with incredible deals from your favorite stores. You don't want to miss out on the unbeatable deals happening all across the island.
Shop till it drop from Kingston to Montego Bay and everywhere in between.
Powered by NCB, Multilink, Island Car Rentals, and Edge 105 FM.
All right, we're back with you, and of course, we're speaking about the maintenance of our courts. With me is Minister Delroy Chuck, the Justice Minister. And Minister was asking before we took the break if there is a communication gap, and if there is, what is that gap, and what's the reason for that?
There's no shortage of funds over the last few years to fix the problems in the courts. I can tell you, over the last 4 or so years...
Wait, Minister, we, just before you go into that, we missed your answer to the question of whether there was a communication gap between the CAD and the ministry.
Yes, the challenge we have is to work out a proper protocol between the Court Administration Division and MOJ. Here, the problem there is that Court Administration Division, rather than concentrating totally and maintaining the courts and leaving the infrastructural or special projects to MOJ, it undertakes these projects and spend money that should be used to maintain the courts and special projects like trying to get $40 million worth of air conditioning. That $40 million could be used to maintain the bathrooms, and basically fix the sort of minor repairs that need to be done in the courts. Now, what is the challenge? They know, and I've explained to the Chief Justice and Mrs. Trisha Cameron Anglin that the ministry has funds. If you have certain challenges with equipment, air conditioning, repairs, significant repairs, please let the Ministry of Justice know. No, the position is that the court administrators, when I go across the island and I see things are falling apart, and I say to the court administrators, why are you allowing this to happen? And they will tell you they have written several letters to court administration to have it done. Now, it should be for me to go to the courts and see that the air condition is not working. 2 weeks ago, I was in Hanover. I was in the Lucy court. I went into one of the courts. The judge told me she can't use that court because the two air conditioning there has not worked. I said, but this is something that we can easily fix. I had to instruct that 5 new air conditioning units should be sent to the Lucy court so that courtroom and other areas of the courts could be properly air conditioned. This is the same problem you have across the island where things are not working and it is not known to the ministry, and the ministry can only deal with it if it comes to the attention of the ministry.
Minister, let me catch you on that, because what I want to understand, because noting that you said there's a communication gap, is the gap because of the separation that exists between the judiciary and the government? Is that the reason for the gap? Because what I'm not understanding, and the reason I ask is I'm going to go into another point of the monies that we need to spend, but is that one of the reasons for the gap in communication?
It is not clear because, from January this year, my office, that's a permanent secretary, had sent a document to court administration to work out a proper protocol as to how funds available are properly spent. Because we are unable to spend. And in fact, even the court administration division has difficulty spending your money because of a thing known as procurement. So, for instance, as I said, we have maybe $500 million for the last 4 or 5 years. And the Ministry of Justice has never been able to spend that $500 million because of procurement problem. Now, once you have to spend more than $60 million in any project, believe me, it's going to take more than a year. So we have fixed up quite a number of the courts. When you look at Clarendon Court, we started from 2017. The work actually only started in 2022 and was finished earlier this year. Now, the Clarendon Court itself is now up to what I would consider to be modern standard, first-class standard. This is how I would like all the courts to be. When I look at Lucy, for the last 3 years, we have been putting together to fix Lucy courts. And we, at the moment, I understand we are trying to spend close to $200 million to fix the Lucy court. But procurement is a problem to get it done. And even if court administration division had the money, they would still have that problem of procurement.
Yes.
So the real challenge we're having is how do we get... Let's face it, no administration since independence have provided for the courts more than this Andrew Holness administration. The court and justice system have been provided with all the funds that it needs to maintain a proper, effective court and justice system. The real difficulty for the Ministry of Justice is how do we get it spent in an orderly and timely manner. And in terms of the communication, we need to know when things are falling apart at the courts before they actually fall apart.
Minister, I want to put to you what our listeners are saying. Our listeners are saying that this is a maintenance issue. And why are we on air, Turner, talking about a maintenance issue. They're also saying that it wouldn't be your problem to fix because you're the minister, you make policy, and by extension the workers should be implementing policy as it is. On that point but
that's the point I'm making. The listeners and persons who go to courts will see, yes, most of the infrastructure of the court are in fairly good condition, but it is to maintain them at a high standard. And I'm saying that the maintenance is primarily a matter for the Court Administration Division. If it requires huge expenditure, then the Ministry of Justice should be informed and the Ministry of Justice should come in to fix them. So it's not a question so much of a blame game between Court Administration and Ministry of Justice. The truth of the matter is we need to communicate, as you say, more, and a proper protocol needs to be worked out as to how the funds are spent. I have no difficulty with that.
On the funds, Minister, our word of the day today was verbatim. I have a quote in the Gleaner from you, April 15, 2024, where you said, but we hope that with this strategic plan that you have, Chief Justice, you will assist us in spending some of the money that we certainly will get at the Ministry of Justice. That was your appeal in April. And if you're telling us now in October that you are having that issue, I want to understand why we still have the roadblock.
Well, Sandra, it is a troublesome thing for me. We got $550 million in the budget this year to maintain the infrastructure, upgrade the infrastructure. And in October, we're now in October, of the $550 million, we have only spent $120 million. We have $430 million that can be used to upgrade the courts, but the problem we're having is to get it spent, and that is because of the procurement issues. So it is a challenge which we have to overcome. How do we overcome the procurement problem? This is a matter which I am hoping before Minister Clark leaves, that the procurement issues can be dealt with in Parliament. I know there's a bill that will come into Parliament soon to deal with this problem of procurement. Because for us to spend the money to really bring the court up to scratch, we go through jumping hurdles to get the procurement done. Because once you're going to spend more than 60 million, in fact more than 20 million, it's going to take you 6 to 9 months. And if it's over 60 million, it's going to take you a couple of years. So I am saying to you, for the last 4 or 5 years, although we have got 500 million, I doubt if we have spent more than half of it any year. And so I agree with the Chief Justice that more money is needed. It's not that more money is needed, but how do we ensure that it can be spent in a timely manner? And this is where a proper protocol and communication between the CAD and the Ministry of Justice. And in fact, I've asked the PS. I was at Cabinet all day yesterday, so I didn't hear the Chief Justice's a press conference. But later in the evening, I will reach out to the Chief Justice for us, both sides, to have a meeting as soon as possible to see how best we can. Both sides can assist in helping to spend the $400 million that we have to spend in this fiscal year and rehabilitate and fix all the courts, because the Ministry of Finance has provided us with these funds.
Minister, we have to leave it there. Delroy Chuck, the Minister of Justice. All right, take a break for Across Jamaica.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Let Scotia Investments guide you towards a winning portfolio that will grow your wealth for generations to come. Call 888-429-5745 to learn more. The time by Scotia Investments is
8:02.
Success, powered by learning. The temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us, is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston and 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's Across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Tuesday morning, I'm Tona Thomas. Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, says the ministry has so far spent more than $350 million on social infrastructure programs in Westmoreland. The minister revealed the figure in an interview with GIS News after the handover ceremony for 2 housing units under the ministry's indigent housing program in Belvedere on Friday. Minister McKenzie says that the units bring to 6 the numbers that have been completed and handed over in the parish. He says 4 more units are scheduled to be presented. During the ceremony, a 2-bedroom unit was presented to Lloyd East in Belvedere, and keys to a studio unit in Grange Hill went to Clebert Vaz. Minister McKenzie says over $15 million was spent constructing both units. The units bring to 102 the number of houses built under the indigent housing program. Meanwhile, the minister outlined that some $200 million has been added to the ministry's budget for indigent housing. The minister says close to $80 million has been spent on indigent housing solutions in Westmoreland. The indigent housing program was designed to address challenges experienced by the poor and most vulnerable citizens in acquiring homes. The National Water Commission, NWC, says customers served by the Fairfield Well facility in St. James should have piped water service restored by 3 p.m. today, Tuesday, October 15. Residents have been without water as a result of emergency pipeline repairs. The affected areas include Fairfield, Tucker, Irwin South, Estuary, and Irwin Point. Meanwhile, the NWC says operations at the Shuttlewood Pump Station in Hanover is a result of an electrical issue and is offline. As a result, customers served by the facility are experiencing a disruption in regular water supply. Areas affected include Chester Castle, Ramble, Nakalva, Cosp, Pierces Village, Shuttlewood, Friendship, Burnt Ground, Bessie Baker, Forest, and Horton Grove. The NWC says it is working to resolve the issue in the shortest possible time. That's it for Across Jamaica for this Tuesday morning, and we now bring you the latest from across the Caribbean. The Caribbean News Desk for today, Tuesday, October 15, 2024.
From the Caribbean News Desk, the morning edition. Good morning. I'm Kendall Morgan.
And I'm Dennis Chevaux with the latest from across the Caribbean.
Several political researchers have been expressing concern that only 4 former British colonies have opted to sever full political ties with the former British colonial masters and become republics. They've noted that while 12 have secured political independence, only Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Dominica, and Barbados have become republics, with the president replacing the monarch as head of state. UWI senior history lecturer Dr. Henderson Carter tells CBC TV that even in the case of Barbados, which was the last to take the Republican step in 2021, it took the country 55 years to do so after it attained independence in 1966.
Why did it take so long, 55 years, for Barbados to move towards republicanism? I raised the point about the importation of British culture in Barbados. That culture that sought to give expression to what I call British celebrations. And that was significant because it kept us wedded to the British monarchy.
Jamaica is widely expected to be the next Caribbean country to become a republic, since it has been recommended by a constitutional reform committee which reported to Parliament in May this year. But public law expert with Oxford Brookes University in the UK, Dr. Derek O'Brien, says Jamaica's route to republic status has been tortuous since independence.
Jamaica was in the vanguard of the independence movement in the 1960s, and together with Trinidad and Tobago, just over a decade later, Trinidad and Tobago had become a republic, and yet 50 years later, Jamaica remains a constitutional monarchy. And what also makes Jamaica fascinating is just how tortuous the process of becoming a republic has been in Jamaica. It was first talked about back in 1972 when Michael Manley set up a constitutional reform commission, and since then power has swung backwards and forwards between the two main political parties.
And UWI's Constitutional Affairs Specialist Professor Hamid Kani feels there is not much appetite among the remaining Caribbean countries for the move towards republicanism.
One of the things that we need to appreciate is that there are only 4 republics in the Commonwealth Caribbean, and this is spreading over a period of time from 1970, when Guyana became a republic, 76 Trinidad and Tobago, 1978 Dominica became a republic at independence, and Barbados in 2021. That 43-year period is one that suggested that there really is not an energy to pursue republicanism in the wider Commonwealth Caribbean, because many governments, with the exception of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in 2009, have not really put it on the agenda for constitutional reform.
Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness has been urging his ruling Jamaica Labour Party supporters to join the information dissemination battle against what he calls skewed narratives by sections of the country's media. Prime Minister Holness made the call to a party conference while stressing the importance of a free press to Jamaica's democracy.
We have seen the media landscape in Jamaica change dramatically and radically. And what the Jamaica Labour Party must do as we enter into the battle for your minds is ensure that we put the information out there in the traditional media, but in all forms of media, to ensure that the people of Jamaica have the balanced and accurate view of what is happening in their country.
In Guyana, controversy is brewing over the government's estimated $1,000 cash grant per household. While the government plans to use water and electricity bills or rent receipts to determine who makes up a household, there are lingering questions about how well that system will work. There are also concerns that large families will end up with less money per person, while small ones will benefit more. Former Finance Minister Winston Jordan told an opposition People's National Congress Reform interview program that poor families usually have more children compared to the middle class. He says the best option is to distribute $500, that's 100,000 Guyana dollars per person, and use information from the Guyana Elections Commission, Guyana Revenue Authority, and the National Insurance Scheme to determine accurately who are the recipients.
To avoid this problem that is inherent in this issue about households, they should step back and say, listen, we are going to be giving $100,000 to adult Guyanese residents. That is easier. Because first of all, you don't have to have a problem anymore about defining households.
This has been the morning edition from the Caribbean News Desk. You may contact us by phone or WhatsApp at +592 700 9293. Thanks for listening.
Halfway through Balmoral, Slab Road, Papine. Halfway through Balmoral, Slab Road, Papine.
You alright?
Yeah, just trying to map out all the National Bakery wholesale locations. So anywhere me there in Kingston, we can pull up on a National Wholesale and get me bread and snacks cheaper than anywhere else.
But Bird Boss, you forget one. The newest one at that, with whole heap of parking. 3 miles, 207 Hagley Park Road.
Wow, another one?
National Wholesales, where every deal's a steal. It's always national.
Delicious meals, poolside cocktails, right on the beach. Disconnect from the daily worries and reconnect with the one you love. There's no paradise like home. Enjoy a romantic all-inclusive escape at Couples Tower Isle in Ocherias from $299 per night. Take advantage of this offer today by calling Couples Resorts at 876-632-8200. Conditions apply.
Looking to add a touch of elegance to your room? The Lighting World by Fosrich is having a massive lighting blowout sale. Get your wall lamps, chandeliers, ceiling lamps, fans, and more at amazingly low prices. Sale begins Sunday, September 29 with up to 50% off selected items. It's the Fosrich Lighting Blowout Sale, September 29. Shop and save only at Fosrich. Open Sundays.
We a big deal when we touch ground. Yeah, I can see when we're pulling up. Anything for the taste what we love. Barbecue spicy and original, flavorful, crispy, irresistible. 3-piece with the fries and a Pepsi. Go get your one big deal, stop stress me. All when we dip on the toilet, no left feet. Anything for the taste of a juicy, crunchy, irresistible KFC big deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries and Pepsi. KFC, it's finger licking good.
This October, Imperial Optical is celebrating their seniors. As a token of respect, Imperial Optical offers 20% off all frames for senior citizens all month long. Stay sharp, stay stylish, and save with advanced lenses for crystal clear vision, expert optometrists who care, and quality frames to fit your style. Visit them today and enjoy this exclusive offer.
I can see
When Sagicor Bank thinks of a woman, here's what we see. We see business leaders managing sole trader businesses to large corporations. We see university graduates as our women uplift themselves academically. We see more home owners, ambitious women working hard to build their own legacy. We see leadership at home, with women proudly providing for and taking care of their families. We see entrepreneurs, Jamaican women playing a leading role in our economic growth. At Sagicor Bank, we see the invaluable contribution of women in the home, communities, businesses, and development of our country. That's why we're in their corner, supporting Jamaica's women as they strive to achieve their dreams.
Quality Talks is brought to you by Bureau of Standards Jamaica. From lab to market.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, turning our attention now to Quality Talks. And today, or yesterday, was World Standards Day. World Standards Day is celebrated on October 14 every year. World Standards Day acknowledges the crucial role played by thousands of experts who develop voluntary standards to ensure that the products and services meet consumer expectations, enhancing safety and enjoyment in daily life. The international theme for World Standards Day was achieving industry innovation and infrastructure through artificial intelligence, AI. For more on the importance of World Standards Day and how it's being observed by the Bureau of Standards Jamaica, we're being joined by the Acting Standards Director, Tafara Smith. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning for the Quality Talks segment. So, Tafara, what is the importance of World Standards Day for the BSJ, and why should it be celebrated in Jamaica?
Okay, thank you for the question. And it's my pleasure to give some information or some insight on that. So it is important for the Bureau of Standards to acknowledge World Standards Day because of the meaning of the day. It is the day where we acknowledge the efforts of the thousands of experts, both locally and internationally, that participate in standard development. But still, why is this important? Because of the relevance of standards, the importance of standards to achieving development in Jamaica, the way in which standards affect health and safety of our everyday lives, and the ways in which standards do facilitate efficiency and interoperability within Jamaica and the rest of the world.
So on that point, how do standards, as it were being implemented, contribute to the economic growth and indeed development of Jamaica?
Well, based on the importance of standards help businesses to achieve efficiency. It helps businesses to also become competitive and to access international markets. Now, indeed, if our businesses and our products are now competitive, they'll be able to access other markets other than just the domestic markets. And this now drives GDP for Jamaica. Also, standards bring about and fosters innovation. Now, being exposed to the latest trends force us to continue to improve just to keep up with what's happening around the world. And this way, we have now improved infrastructure to support development. We also have a better way of life. We have quality. We can ensure quality assurance in terms of the types of products that we're putting out there, as well as, again, bring back home that U.S. dollar that is important for growth locally.
Yeah. And in that interaction, Tafara must ask how the BSJ is engaging with the local industries and the stakeholders, the people who want to export their products, engaging in that process of developing and implementing standards to ensure that they can do so.
Okay, so the BSJ engage with our stakeholders in several ways, right? So we have engaged with local industry in terms of the way we develop standards. We inform you when there's a need for a standard, when the standard is going to be developed. We invite persons to become part of the technical committee. This way, you'll be able to give your voice to the standard, especially as it relates to industry, right? You would dictate, the specification that goes into the documentation that we call standards. Granted, it has to be based on research, however, and international best practices. Also, we do facilitate training through the Quality Institute, which is the training arm of the Bureau of Standards. This way, we help you to interpret the requirements that are within these documents for implementation. We also have what we call the Client Services Program, where we help you to now do that implementation, get a little bit of support from us in terms of, how do you achieve this requirement in the standard? We also have the testing facilities. We have over 20 labs that perform several tests to ensure that industry products and quality products are meeting the quality requirements to advance the international markets. We also provide certification, which gives that assurance to the markets or to your stakeholders to say, yes, these products are now meeting, conforming to the requirements of standards and has mark of assurance from the national certification body, which is also an extension of the Bureau of Standards.
And I just scrolled back up, Tafara, to the theme, the international theme for World Standards Day, Achieving Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure Through Artificial Intelligence, AI. For the Bureau of Standards Jamaica, what does this theme mean to the BSJ?
Well, the theme is very important to us because, again, it comes back to the foundation, which are those standards, right? So the Bureau of Standards have established several committees that look at the integration of ICT, not just AI, integration of ICT into everyday operations to increase efficiency. Also looking at how standards, let's say, for example, look at the 9001 standard. It's a well-known standard. It's a standard for ensuring quality management in operations of services or even your manufacturing sector. Now, these standards ensure efficiency and it reduces costs, to achieve to achieve the best infrastructure in your country. You want to use standard as a basis. And so the BSJ has also reviewed our building codes, which are also important, an important part of achieving sustainable buildings, sustainable structures. And this is all towards achieving development, Jamaica overall development. We also look at, but it talks about innovation, we spoke to the ICT and the AI aspects of things, as we do have standards for AI because AI is a new product for us. It is it's new ground for everyone. And so where something is new, what you might find is that people might become very creative to the point where it becomes a problem. So we encourage persons to participate on the committees, to find out what standard exists, because right now, internationally, everyone trying to work together. They're trying to work together to develop standards to ensure that the safe use and ethical use of AI, right? As well as we spoke about standards for innovation, as well as standards for infrastructure. We spoke to the building code, but there, of course, are other standards that for other establishing good practices, especially to do with governance. We talk, there are standards for a variety of things that assist us towards achieving our Vision 2030 and achieving sustainable development of our Jamaica.
And for the Standards World Standards Day was yesterday, but how was it observed by the BSJ? Any activities that was done by the Bureau?
Well, yes, there are several activities actually. So yesterday we were on both our major media television houses were representing, trying to share information there and bring about more awareness in standards, as well as to tell the public how they can participate and the importance of standards to their everyday life, how standards can assist businesses and how they can be impacted by these standards and how they themselves can impact the standards. Because what you find a lot of times is that the public the general public, a lot of them, does not use their voice. They don't understand that they too have a voice and a say in what quality means for them. And so we want to bring about that message to let them know, look, you can be a part of the process, and we encourage them to be a part of that process. So we were on both TVJ and CBM television station. We also did a series of tweets and posting on our major social media platforms to let people know that there's a standard for that, right?
Yeah.
Also, we had a video message from our minister, which was also posted on this platform, where he's also joining us in spreading that word about the importance of standards to industry, the importance of standards towards achieving economic development and protecting and safeguarding consumer health and safety.
Wow.
We'll be having our major open house activity.
Is that in the week of activities?
Booth demonstrations, as well as give you a tour of our labs so that you can see how we go about achieving this, achieving or confirming quality for you.
Okay.
The launch of our food safety ambassador program, as well as outside broadcast tomorrow as well. But today, importantly, just for those who are not aware, we're inviting you to be a part of the forum that we'll be having today on ISO 9001, Journey to Quality, especially for MSMEs. Again, we talk about the Quality Management Standard 9001. It helps companies to reduce costs by achieving efficiency in their operation. And this now gives them a competitive edge for their products, for them to access international markets and not just the domestic market.
Tafara Smith, you wanted to make a final point, Tafara, before I let you go?
Yes. In addition, we'll be having our Technical Committee Appreciation Luncheon, and this is to recognize our local Technical Committee members who participate daily in standard development here at the Bureau of Standards. And these are persons from all across Jamaica, academia, industry, ministries, departments, and agencies, and the general public. So for those of you out there that are interested in becoming a part of committees here at the Bureau, we encourage you to.
Wonderful. Acting Standards Director at the Bureau of Standards Jamaica, Tafara Smith, talking to us about World Standards Day. Thank you so much for your time, Tafara.
Thank you for having us and for spreading the message. Thank you.
For sure. This has been it for the Quality Talks segment. Going to take a break and come back with more.
Quality Talks was brought to you by Bureau of Standards Jamaica. From lab to market.
Crisp and refreshing. Room temperature or chilled. A pure water would drink. The time by Pure Water is
8:27.
Data Protection Matters is brought to you by Design Privacy. We help you comply and build trust.
Welcome to another episode of Data Protection Matters, powered by Design Privacy here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm your host, Chantal Thompson. Today we have with us Chuck Cameron, founder of Design Privacy and a data privacy expert. Welcome, Chuck.
Hi, Chantal.
So, in this episode, we'll be discussing the Office of the Information Commissioner's website, which has been updated with a list of registered data controllers. Chuck, the floor is yours.
We are at a milestone in the rollout of our data protection compliance national program. Why do I say that? Last week, the Office of the Information Commission put out a publication stating that they have now published their public register of approved data controllers.
Yes.
That is critical and a significant milestone in our entire data protection framework. That ties back squarely into the discussion we had on the last occasion where we were talking about appointing of a data protection officer. Now, data controllers or entities looking to appoint data protection officers now have a point of reference. Very often companies ask, okay, how do I know who is a good DPO? How do I validate that? I've accepted the fact that I need a data protection officer, but how do I know good from the bad? There are two things that data controllers can now do. The first thing, they must go on the Office of the Information Commissioner's website and determine whether or not they are a provider. So the Information Commissioner has set out a list of persons that she is aware that are in the business of offering privacy data protection services or DPO services. That list she's not approving them or validating or vouching for them. She's just indicating that these persons she is aware is in the business of offering privacy services. But more importantly now, Chantal, if it is you now have the public register in accordance with section 16 and 17 of the legislation of approved data controllers, when you hire a DPO or a privacy consultant, they will be processing your data. They will also be data controllers. So it follows, before you hire a data protection officer or a consultant in helping you to roll out your privacy framework, you must ensure that that service provider is also listed on that public register of approved data controllers. So there are two separate lists I'm speaking about. For data controllers or companies who are in the market for getting help to implement their data protection compliance program, or they are in the market for appointing a data protection officer, there are 2 points of reference now. The first one is that the Information Commissioner has identified persons who she is aware that are in the business of offering these services. So that's the first thing. Go to that list and see if you see that person's name.
The data service providers list?
Yes. I don't remember the name of it, but there's a specific. It is specifically the data service providers list. So she's not saying that she's guaranteeing the work that they do, or she's not recommending them. She's simply saying, I am aware that these persons are in the business of offering these services. That's one. But now you have a second list to cross-reference. This is now the list that is mandated by the law. The law requires that the Information Commissioner publishes a register that sets out all data controllers that have successfully registered with her office. It cannot be that you are seeking to obtain the services of a privacy practitioner or DPO and they themselves have not done what they are supposed to be assisting you to do. And that is to register with the Office of the Information. So as it is now, there are about 20 data controllers all around that have been listed on the register. A lot more have actually gone through the process.
And design privacy is one of them. You have to point that out.
Well, Chantal, at this stage, if you are to look at it, design privacy is the only service provider that is an approved data controller.
Right.
I didn't say it. You said it, Chantal, but it's very important.
Yes, it is. It's a big deal too.
It cannot be that persons are offering you help to register with the Office of the Information Commissioner, and the law says that everybody must register, and they have not registered.
Right.
So 2 things. Look at the list of service providers. 2, determine whether or not the person is an approved data controller, because they will have at least, any service provider would have at least 1 employee they'll be processing, personal data set that they'll be processing. That service provider will have clients whose personal data they'll be processing on their own behalf. So the law does require that they register with the Office of the Information Commissioner. So that's one. The second part about it, when we went through the list, Chantal, we saw a number of our clients that we have helped to register. So I haven't spoken to all of them as yet to determine who we can big up or not big up, but I did get permission from the Minister of National Security and indicate that we wanted to publicly congratulate them for registering with the Office of the Information Commissioner. So at this stage, I want to big up Ministry of National Security for being on that list of approved data controllers. Yes. There are a number of other clients that we have assisted that we haven't gotten I just have not approached them as yet.
Right.
We will be approaching them, but as a matter of fact, to be fair to all the data controllers that have been approved, all of them deserve commendation and congratulations.
Yes, we've come a long way.
2 years ago,
yes.
Nothing existed.
Right.
And it is a lot of work, and it does require a significant culture shift.
Right.
And just the act of registration is a heavy lift. And to see those government agencies, surprisingly, those government agencies leading the charge as they ought,
right,
is commendable. So what this means now is that members of the public can now hold data controllers accountable.
Yes.
Members of the public can, and the reason why the law says it must be a public register is it now gives data subjects the power to hold data controllers accountable.
But Chuck, a lot of data subjects don't know their rights. We have to go into that at some point, because a lot of persons don't know.
So if we're looking at the radio shows as seasons, we need an entire season.
I agree.
Because that is what the Data Protection Act is all about.
Right.
The protection of data subjects. But right now, we're just trying to help data controllers educate them as to what they must do to become compliant and put the infrastructure in place to protect those data subjects.
All right, and we also have to commend the Office of the Information Commissioner too. It's been a long journey for them, and we're finally here. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you very much for that, Chantal.
You forgot my name?
Yes, it's nothing new. We'll do it again. Forgive me. They have had a very heavy burden, a very heavy load to lift, and they are fulfilling their statutory mandate and, by extension, protecting the citizens of Jamaica.
All right, and that brings us to the end of this discussion. As always, very insightful. If you still need help to register with the Office of the Information Commissioner, Design Privacy offers a self-registration tool called SelfReg. Feel free to email us at info@designprivacy.io for more information. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at design_privacy, and also connect with us on LinkedIn at Design Privacy. Stay informed and stay secure.
Matters was brought to you by Design Privacy. We help you comply and build trust.
Tell them cut the plastic.
See ya, our one country we have, and we have to preserve it for future generation. The government had to feed them part with phase 4 of the ban on single-use plastic. That mean me won't get me lunch in a plastic container, and me so gonna stop use certain cosmetic personal care items. Boy, big changes. But we want me picking them to enjoy this country, so me go all in a phase 4. Support the ban.
A message from the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation.
Shop and win a mega kitchen from Megamart. Spend $6,000 or more before GCT at any Megamart location and fill out the entry form provided for a chance to win a brand new stove, fridge, and microwave this Christmas from Appliance Traders Limited. Visit us on social media to win monthly prizes courtesy of Lasco, Grace Foods, and Facey Commodity Company Limited. Promotion runs from September 30 to December 6. Shop now to win a mega kitchen from Megamart. The best value by far. Conditions apply. Must be 18 years or older to enter. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Looking to add a touch of elegance to your room? The Lighting World by Fosrich is having a massive lighting blowout sale. Get your wall lamps, chandeliers, ceiling lamps, fans, and more at amazingly low prices. Sale begins Sunday, September 29 with up to 50% off selected items. It's the Fosrich Lighting Blowout Sale, September 29. Shop and save only at Fosrich. Open Sundays.
When Sagicor Bank thinks of a woman, here's what we see. We see business leaders managing sole trader businesses to large corporations. We see university graduates as our women uplift themselves academically. We see more home owners, ambitious women working hard to build their own legacy. We see leadership at home, with women proudly providing for and taking care of their families. We see entrepreneurs, Jamaican women playing a leading role in our economic growth. At Sagicor Bank, we see the invaluable contribution of women in the home, communities, businesses, and development of our country. That's why we're in their corner, supporting Jamaica's women as they strive to achieve their dreams.
A Healthier You is brought to you by Express Fitness, your goal or mission, and Horton's Pharmacy, a family tradition of dispensing and caring for 100 years.
Alrighty, we're back with you. It's Nationwide this morning. This is A Healthier You, and the focus today is lupus awareness. Now, October is Lupus Awareness Month. Lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease that can cause inflammation and pain in any part of the body, including the heart, kidney, lungs, blood, joints, and skin. With lupus, the immune system, which fights infections, also recognizes and attacks itself. While anyone can develop lupus, 90% of the people with the disease are women. It has no known causes or cure and can be disabling and potentially fatal. For more on managing the disease and the work of the Lupus Foundation of Jamaica to bring awareness of the autoimmune condition, we're joined by a lupus warrior and member of the Lupus Foundation of Jamaica, Unique Sanko Valentine. Good morning, Unique.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to Nationwide this
Thank
morning.
you.
So, talk to us a little bit about your own journey with lupus and how long you have been diagnosed with lupus.
All right. So I was diagnosed July 2017. And when it just started, I was experiencing hair loss, brain fog, also fatigue. Sometimes I'd be washing my clothes and I realized that I have to just leave it and go sleep. And I was wondering, what was wrong. And I went to the doctor and was doing various tests. And eventually that was the result, lupus. In 2018 now, with a new disease, I got pregnant. And during the pregnancy, the lupus affected my kidneys. So now I was diagnosed with lupus nephritis as well. So it has been a challenging time, but with the help of friends and family, they continue to support me during this time.
And if you could speak to us about the challenges that a lupus warrior has to go through.
All right, so for no one individual, you deal with it the same.
Yeah.
Because it affects everybody differently. But for me, I would tell you that the joint pain, I have joint pain. I am always tired. Also, brain fog. Sometimes I have to put stuff inside so I can remember where it is. There are times when I'm really tired. I'm going to go to work and I go home. I have to just lay down for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes my body gets weak. But I always have to have some form of support around me to help to deal with the different situations that may arise. Because for 1 month I'm good. And then if I overwork myself, then sometimes, that is when the different things can act up in my body.
So you almost have to be ensuring that you balance everything every day.
Yes. Cannot overwork my body.
Wow.
And that's for me.
Yeah, so when we look at treatment now, we want to understand what is treatment like for you and kind of how expensive that is, especially considering where healthcare is in 2024.
All right, so treatment, there are certain medications that I take. So prednisone is one. For the prednisone helps with the pain. Mm-hmm. Also, it helps to maintain certain levels in the body. For me, because of the lupus nephritis and the lupus that affects the kidneys, there's this medication that I take once I get a flare. It's called rituximab, and that drug, 4 bottles can be like 700 and something thousand.
Wait, did you say 4 bottles cost
4 bottles
700 plus 1,000?
Yes.
Wow.
But with the help of the Lupus Foundation, Ministry of Health, and other entities, you can get financial assistance to purchase because it is covered. So, NHS covers lupus drugs.
Yes.
So it is a part of the NHF subsidy. Also, the Lupus Foundation of Jamaica provides financial support for its members.
So as we talk about the NHF really quickly, what does that support look like from the government? Because it's been a conversation over the last couple of weeks as it relates to the NHF and why people should apply to it. But you are saying there's a real benefit here, right here on Nationwide this morning. So I want you to kind of flesh that out for me.
All right. So for I'm not sure in terms of the percentage, but I'm going to give it a dollar figure.
Mm-hmm.
So for 4 bottles, so it's a 772 for 4 bottles. The NHF would cover like 264,000.
Okay, that's a.
So it is
that's a good
it is a good subsidy.
Yes. Yeah. And when you said flare, Yannick, what exactly do you mean when you say a lupus flare?
A flare. All right. So a flare is when the lupus is active in the body and starts to affect different organs.
So
there are times when your system can be functioning, I would say, normal. So you say you're in remission. Because with the medication keeps you or helps you to maintain a certain balance.
So it attacks what is causing the flare up in the body.
So, yes. So when the lupus now becomes active,
Mm-hmm.
then it affects the different organs, and that is what we call a flare. When it starts to affect the different organs, where you're having joint pain and all of that.
So on that point then, how long would the medication last? Because the expensiveness of that
You're on
medication.
medication every day.
So
The
how long would
the
four
700 and odd
bottles-
thousand one?
Yeah.
No, that one is a one-off medication.
Okay.
So that one is a one-off medication that helps to put the rituximab helps to put the lupus in remission.
Okay. All right, and finally, Yannick, if you could talk to us about some of the other support available from the Lupus Foundation and what activities are planned to mark Lupus Awareness Month.
All right. So the Lupus Foundation of Jamaica, they have annual public awareness campaign where for May and October, we normally celebrate Lupus Awareness Month. So for this year, we are having, on the 9th, we did the official launch. On Sunday gone, we had our 40th anniversary service. On the 20th, though, of October, we'll be having our annual fundraiser, which is Laps for Lupus, which begins at 5 to 8 p.m. at Emancipation Park. Persons can register online at the website. That's www.lupusfoundationjamaica.org. And the persons will be able to give donations $1,000 to participate in the Laps for Lupus.
Okay, so that's this Sunday.
Yes. On the 31st of October, we'll be having our 40th anniversary award luncheon at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. So persons can also give donations towards that as well. And on the 3rd of November, we'll be having our 35th annual Lupus Symposium, which is hybrid, so persons can join and online and also visit. It will be at the UWI, University of the West Indies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and also, yes.
Go ahead, Yanni.
So, and the Lupus Foundation, it provides, I'm encouraging persons to donate to the Lupus Foundation because it helps the members, those lupus warriors, with financial benefits. It also provides counseling services. We have a WhatsApp group where persons can just share their experiences and what is happening. Also, we have group meetings on a monthly basis where we have different medical experts come in and share about the different impacts that lupus can have on the body.
Right. So if it is that you are a lupus warrior out there, you have not yet been put in contact with the Lupus Foundation of Jamaica, there is a lot of support that is available to you at the Lupus Foundation of Jamaica. So you can get in contact with them as well as to participate in all of the activities taking place for Lupus Awareness
And we
Month.
just want to pick up our sponsors as well.
Yes.
You have our major sponsors, which for the Platinum Group, we have NHF, Water, Gymwear, and Indo Sciences. We have Wistinco Group, NHD. We have the Barita Foundation, and we also have other sponsors like Auto Channel Limited, Fontana Pharmacy, Collaborative Care, Internal Medicine, and Dr. Stacey Davis.
Yeah, and thanks so much to them as well for contributing
for continuing to pour into the Lupus Foundation of Jamaica.
Indeed. Yannick Sanko Valentine, a lupus warrior and a member of the Lupus Foundation of Jamaica. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Going to take a break and come back with your birthdays.
A healthier you was brought to you by Express Fitness, your goal or mission, and Horton's Pharmacy, a family tradition of dispensing and caring for 100 years.
Make a plan to stay on top of your mortgage. Stick to it. Pay on time. The time by the NHT is
8:52.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Popeye's Wings. Try the 6-piece combo today for only $1,395. Wing the alarm!
I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. Call me baby if you need a friend. I just wanna give you love. Come on, come on, come on. Reaching out to you, so take a chance. No matter where you go, no, you're not alone. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. Come along with me and don't be scared. I just wanna set you free. Come on, come on, come on. You and me can make it anywhere. But for now, we can stay here for a while. Yeah, 'cause you know, I just wanna see you smile. No matter where you go, you know you're not alone. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. And when you're weak, I'll be strong. I'm gonna keep you. I'm a Superman, thanks to Lois Lane. It's the way my problems when I went insane. Took me from the depths when I lost my name. Ooh, it's something I could live for. Now everyone is wondering what's the change. They don't recognize I have so much to say. And I never thought someone could love someone so much that they'd give up on everything. I know I will be there when you need me. I will be there when you cry, baby.
That time of the morning.
What time is it, Sana?
Is the time when we tell some people happy birthday, some very special people happy birthday and happy anniversary.
You know, you're hearing these songs in the background. I want to tell that my music education has been comprehensive. We're listening to Superman by Taurus Riley, and of course you hear no, I actually knew one call away, but no, I know Taurus Riley's voice actually, and the song had the word Superman, but I know the Charlie Puth, I'm only one call away. I know that one for sure. I was about to say when it came on, you know, you probably have Google. To check, but what I'll say is what I'm saying is I know the Charlie Puth. I actually know that one. I was going to say to Jermaine that he's now in, you know, a band, a time band, where I would have listened to this type of music. Very well. But yes, we have our birthdays. I want to go all the way up because I see that we'd have had birthdays from early out. Some people are sending in their birthdays. Tana, I see somebody say Elaine Williams, happy birthday. Enjoy your special day. That's coming from Angela Jones. That's coming from Annie Smith. And we are seeing that from Wilbert Davis as well. Good morning to you, Elaine Williams, and a happy birthday to you.
She says today is her birthday, of course, and listening to you guys, she says it's a great pleasure. Then she says, you guys are outstanding, out of this world. Have a great, great day. You, Elaine, have a great, great, great day as well.
Greater day. Yes.
Indeed. Happy birthday to you. Over on Facebook, happy birthday to Tam, Chris, NK, Goatee, Trisha Larmond. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday as well to Greg Clennon, Cynthia Wallace, Roxanne Brooks. It's your birthday. Happy birthday as well to Sharmalee O'Connor and Cassie Greaves. Happy birthday, Cassie.
As
Hope
we
you guys have a really good
say
day.
Greaves, Angela Greaves says, happy 71st birthday to my beautiful mom. One more year upon them. I know she's going off the song. Love you loads from me and your grandkids and great grands. Happy birthday to Angela's mom right here. We have it coming in. Jacqueline Thomas as well, wishing she said, she's wishing a happy birthday, or is it her birthday? What is happening here?
Jacqueline Thomas?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it your birthday, Jackie? Let us know.
Yes.
Sydney Wilson sending happy birthday greetings to her niece, Shanadine Wilson. She says, coming from Auntie Sydney Wilson. So happy birthday to you, Shanadine Wilson, coming from your aunt, Sydney Wilson.
Yes, I see here that I said, good morning, Ton and Team NNM. Please wish my baby girl, Siobhan Spence, happy 26th birthday. Mommy loves you endlessly, Princess. Siobhan Spence. That's coming from Angie Favorable. Wishing you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Popeye's Wings. Try the 6-piece combo today for only $1,395. Wing the alarm!
All that it was rough, but lately I've been doing better.
All right, just to read this one quickly from Sachille Grant Henry. Happiest of anniversaries to my darling husband Carlos Henry, 14 years, and I do it all over again from wife Sachille. You know, you heard Superman earlier, and I knew it was the songs were talking about me, but for Sachille, it's Carlos.
Happy anniversary. Yeah, where we get you from, Sanjay. Happy anniversary to the Henrys. Hope you guys have a really good day as well. Is that it? Jacqueline Thomas is responding saying, no, I said I celebrated my two sisters' birthdays on the weekend. Party over the weekend. Okay, so happy birthday, belated birthday greetings to Jacqueline Thomas's two sisters who had their birthdays on the weekend.
Because she's a September girl, Tana, of course.
And Shelly-Ann Perrin says, help me celebrate my birthday today. It's your birthday, Shelly-Ann.
Hi, Shelly. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a good one as well. So that's all the birthdays now. Happy birthday to you if you're celebrating your birthday today. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well. And that's about it for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning. NTM, The Big Show. Thanks so much to our technical operator and the musical maestro, Jermaine King, or super producer, Michelle McCrae Smith, or super editor, Kimon Thompson. Up next, The Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton, and at 10, Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tawna Thomas.
And I'm Sondra Roden, a.k.a. Superman.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Why do I sit and wait till it's gone? Oh, I tell you, I know I've got enough. I've got peace and I've got love, but I'm up and I thinking I just might lose it all.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.